That man be very conscious. Yeah, that's just the kid that is confusion.
Look, see, we have people worthy of celebrating. Hold on, we have people worthy of.
Make I ask you one question. They talk say on a history, it has always been the Ashanti. So I don't know, growing up, social studies and citizenship education, I don't really kite a lot of Ashantis that were really in our books. Can you mention Ashantis that were really celebrated? Because I remember the ex-servicemen, they were not Ashantis. Mensa Sabadens, they were not Ashantis. A lot of these people were not Ashantis. So I want to know the Ashanti people you are really referring to. Because
the question I asked, right? The question I asked was a general question to everyone. Said everybody probably did social studies. They did social studies in primary school to GSS. In your social studies books, which of our history focused on the northern region? Like in-depth history for us to know about the Yana, the Yagbonwura, and all of those people. Which of our history focused on the Volta region to know about the various chiefs and their clans and everything? We have with ourselves. We've had more about the Ashanti region, the Ashanti Kingdom, the Otumfo, the Minsha Palace, more than anything. How many of our history books have anything to do with the Gan with the Gan people? How many of our history books have anything to do with the Nzima people? I am asking the general question. This is not me trying to.
Maybe.
We all the social studies school.
Maybe a lot of things happen for that side.
We all the social studies school. We never saw this is in our books. We never did see any of these things in our books. Come on, let's be honest.
If you say we didn't see this in our books, I don't think it's wholly true. Because we learned about some Volta chiefs and all that. We learned about them.
Those people were not Ashantis.
You will learn about festivals, but mostly on festivals.
But we learn about how social studies. We learned about how the voters came. I mean, Toby Charlie. We learned about all this. The thing is that let's be very honest. Although our history has been a bit biased in terms of publications, the Ashanti Empire or the Ashanti Kingdom was actually great. And I think
exactly
we can't take that fact away from them. As for that one, we can't take it away from them. It's a fact. It's something that it was recognized. So I don't think
the main reason I request to join this
Got your road again.
yeah, Martin Hopeful. We like Martin Hope. But maybe the guys say as the British come Ghana or Gold Coast, the Ashanti Empire was not part of the territory at the point. Even Accra or Greater Accra was not even part of the territory. Volta region was not even part of it. That
was only Central.
Yeah, that's why recently, in recent times, the Togoland, those people.
That's not, please. It was the whole of southern Ghana, where exclusion of the northern territories, the south, and the Togoland protectorate. So Accra was included. Most of the regions along the coast were included.
I'm not saying you are wrong. As the British come, my point be on
get one of those keyless entry locks.
Stuck in one of the aisles?
I'm just trying them.
Oh, yeah.
122.
I'm not in disagreement with Segbe. That after the signing of which led to what the British establishing their colony in the Gold Coast. How many? I'm not playing tribal cards, but at the end of the day, it was only the Fanti Confederation.
That was by about 8 people.
Exactly. So at the end of the day, the British colony only affected what Fantis at the time, but we all know that the white man is greedy and is trying to expand what their control of the black man, and it extended to the rest of what the southern states. But per the signatures were penned on the bond of 1844. It didn't include Ewes, it didn't include Gan people, it didn't include Aquamos, it didn't include
the northern region, people of the north. It didn't include
exactly.
Yeah, fair enough.
That is why Ferguson, I've forgotten his first name.
George Ikem Ferguson, yeah.
Right. People like him when have to be taxed to go and survey
the entire geography of Gold
exactly.
That's fine, but Coach Abi.
Okay. Yeah. Go on.
That after the bond of 1844, there was something called the Berlin Conference of 1884, right?
Right.
So this came after the bond of 1844. When the Berlin Conference came, it was at that point when the Western powers met in Germany, and they sat down to split Africa amongst themselves, like with respect to colonies, right? So when the signing of the bond of the Berlin Conference, it overrode, how do we call it, the bond of 1844, in the sense that other regions of the Gold Coast were added to the Fanti territory.
Okay.
Do you get it?
Okay.
Yes.
Bro, I get you. And it's just a wise man doing his own thing. But then at the end of the day, the question we should ask ourselves, we have our own land, and somebody sits somewhere and say, okay, I'm taking this part, you take this part, we take this. This is my problem. This is what we are supposed to be teaching our children, because they need to understand that, look, it wasn't right for them to dictate for us, divide us, and they cause all this confusion we are having today. This is what our children need to understand today, and then it becomes conscious and patriotic citizens before growing up.
Okay, I also want to make a point that the number of fights that the Ashantis fought with the British were 5 in total. The first one, the Ashantis won, and they killed the governor. That was McCarthy. The second one was a draw. The third one, the British won.
Which one is the second one?
Hold on.
How do you declare a draw?
Hold on.
The judges were.
Hold on. In 1923,
the second one was around 1873.
And who declared that?
Hold on.
Yeah, how you declare draw though? For war?
Hold on. I'm reading it for you. So the second Anglo-Ashanti War occurred between 1863 and 1864. In 1863, a large Ashanti force crossed the River in search of a fugitive, Kwesi Jana. British, African, and Indian troops responded, but neither side claimed victory, as illness took more casualties on both sides than the actual fighting. The second war ended in a stalemate. So during the war, there wasn't.
Where did you from?
Black Past. It's a source. The third one, the
What kind of
British
sauce?
beat them
Beef
with
sauce or fish sauce or seafood sauce? What sauce?
So it was 5 fights. The Ashantis won the first one, killed the governor McCarthy. Second one was a draw. The third one, General Garnet Wolseley led 2,500 British troops. They defeated the Ashantis because they had better trained soldiers, and then they had quinine, which was, I think, an antidote against disease, and then they had a new magazine gun. So it gave them a significant technological advantage over the Ashanti army. So they beat them in the Battle of Amanfo on January 31st, 1873. The fourth one, they beat them Wutu. And then the fourth one was when they made the Asante Hene Ajiman sign the Treaty of Protection with all the other Ashanti leaders, and then they were sent into exile into Seychelles. And then the fifth one was the one that was led by Yas Antoine, which they lost. They were lost at the end of the day as well. So I just wanted to make that point.
Yeah.
So the what way they slam no?
No, you see where we have a problem with how our history is being taught.
Yo, can you come back with the fourth and fifth one? Because they seem to be coinciding. Santua was taken with Ajiman Pepe
I think they went together.
Yeah.
No, they didn't. Hold on.
After the Santua war.
Okay, so it says the fourth Anglo-Ashanti War was occurred between 1894 and 1896. The war started on the pretext of failure to pay the fines of 50,000 ounces of gold levied on the Ashanti Empire by the Treaty of Formina. Colonel Francis Scott left Cape Coast along with the British and Indian troops in December 1895 and arrived in Kumasi in January 1896. Major Robert Baden-Powell led an army of African allies who had opposed Ashanti rule. Ashanti Prempeh was arrested and deposed. Prempeh was forced to sign a treaty of protection and with other Ashanti leaders was sent into exile in the Seychelles Islands when the war ended in 1896. The final war, which was the fifth one, was a rebellion which was called the War of the Golden Stool, which took from March through to.
So the fifth one wasn't the Santua war, like you said initially.
Okay, so as I was saying, you see, there's a problem I have with how our history is being taught. You realize that our history, you see, some of these things, we could not take them for granted. Everything is carefully orchestrated to skew our mindset in a certain way. You see, you have quoted from a very beautiful source, 5 wars, blah, 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 blah. You didn't even know that in 1824, the Battle of Dodowa, also known as the Katamanso War, they never mention it in any history book.
That was between the Gans, right, and the Ashantis.
Yes, where the Gans won. But our history.
It's Ashantis before.
Oh, But people know, say, at a certain point, the Gan area gave out to the Ashanti Kingdom.
Not true. Not true. Bro, let me give you a fact.
Hold on. Let me
the Gans, make a finish. The Gans reclaimed the land from Ashantis. At the time, Ashantis, like almost the whole Ghana, was the Ashanti Empire. It was only, I think, the two northern regions that was not part. That is Upper East and Upper West. But aside that, the whole Gold Coast or the whole Ghana was part of the Ashanti Kingdom until some fights happened with other regions.
Okay.
Other regions.
Ivan.
The whole of the Gold Coast was under the Ashanti. Come on.
Fire.
Yeah,
I will send you.
The three brothers.
I beg, quick one. If you want to go away Gans and Ashantis fight,
Fire.
we win that one.
Fire. Then we did the Gans they and the Ashantis. They was part of the empire. They was part of the Ashanti Empire.
It's not true.
Until
now, see, it's not who is speaking now? Is it
Fire, make a send you. I send you some.
So you see, as I
send you some YouTube link. Put someone there.
Is it the way they tell you, see how then they teach on our history?
Charlie, I don't tattoo Katamanso war for my chest too, because Charlie.
Because what?
For me, they know say full chest.
No.
Them, you know.
Then for tattoo, Taki come in the face.
That's why I have a problem when people they talk to Ashanti be Martinian. We not be Martinian. Ashanti not be Martinian. They don't even be part of the Gokus at the time.
They come. You would they mention wars will happen. When our history books from childhood, all the history, then the small history then teach you. Then they teach you about Sagranti War, where the Ashantis win, where they cut Charles McCarthy in head, blah blah blah. Then they teach. You see, that be where the problem is. The history they teach about how the airways spread from Nochi to wherever present day Volta region led by Agokoli, how the Gans come in. Even the Gans, the migration safe. If you know, be the recent as the Gaman, the how they call them, the Gamania die. We now people like Manchebiago, I should say they on the page at the Salutamwa. We they can give some education. See, the Gans migrate in different sects and Gampi, the Mamanya, where he die. That no they mean say no. Them be like independent states. Although them all be Ghana, them be independent states. When a history never teach you this. When a history never teach you how they call it, Obruman Kuma or Dapajan and also we demarcation. On I should never teach you that. These be things we individually, people will then be interested in these things. They go find them, they go read. But these things, it never they want to history.
On some grounds, I disagree with you.
Which of one
history? Why do you?
Because to date, people don't say need Taki Komi where he lead the guns in the Katamanso War. People know even not say Katamanso War ever happened. Because who? Because there's the you see, I don't want to play tribalism card here. It really
I want to wake up every morning. I go tweet Katamanso War, you know, when there's no their place.
On some ground.
But the people where they lose the Katamanso War, those people they lose the what they talk about Katamanso War.
Don't get me wrong. I'm just trying to be very neutral on this. When I grew up in Nongwa, okay, and where I grew up, there's a painting of the whole Katamanso War, okay, and the name of the person who shot the Ashanti is written boldly. Nimwe Asafache Nimwe. What I'm saying is this.
We killed the McKinney things all.
Yes.
Oh.
That they had to cut off his head and then take it. You see, there's a whole lot of history.
So we shoot with some cut head.
Charlie Moon cool it down. He was shot.
Which level? You don't forget to see the guns, the community.
For me, I don't want to talk about guns and Ashanti fights.
Coach Eddie, see, one other thing where we leave out of context, we say the Katamanso War, the guns wouldn't have defeated the Ashantis if not for the help of the British. Exactly. It be the British way them arm the Ghana army, then give them the weapons, then you did then superior weapons make them.
Okay.
That actually was a great factor in the defeat.
Okay, segment, no problem.
Every defeat we defeat, bro. Every defeat we defeat.
There were only 60, please.
Charlie, which level?
British.
Oh yeah, of course. Every defeat be defeat. I know they dispute that, but I just they put everything on a line.
But hold on, but then what's up? They don't get the ammunition from the Abrofo. I mean, today the Abrofo be cool.
You see, the guns
Ashanti don't see eye to eye with the
British.
Let's not Father, guys. Let's not listen. The white man is sitting, and we are fighting ourselves. This is what I want us to see. Look at. Let's start from the beginning. Let's roll it back. As far as 1811.
So make you not forget. See, at the time it was a thing like almost every tribe wanted to exert the dominance. So that's why you will see some tribe fighting other tribe to claim the majority.
I don't think for Ghana people. I don't think the same for Ghana people. Come in. My point will cut across that. I think I deleted 1811. The Ashantis waged war against the Fantis, right? And the Ashantis had a relationship already with the Ghana people. They don't have a fight. We've never fought until the Katamanso War. Okay? We had a business relations. Ashantis had a business relationship far back, way back before the arrival of what? The Europeans. They never fought. There was no problem between Ghana and Ashantis. Whenever the white man want to get to the Ashanti kingdom, it's through the Ghana people. They take them there. We are doing that as a business. If the Ashantis have things they want to sell to the white man, the Ghana man is the middleman. You understand? And this is how, if we check our history around the colonial era, this is how come Ghana people were one of the most the richest people. Okay, a perfect example: the Owu family. You understand? So there was no problem. Then came so an example: the Ashantis waged war against the Fantis, and who did they call upon to come and support them. Gun Fanti war. It's not really about guns fighting Fantis. It is Ashantis fighting Fantis, and then guns went to support Ashantis. And we supported Ashantis in a lot of fights. We were not under Ashantis. No problem with that. Far time has passed. Then Catamans, who informed, have anybody asked the question, who informed Ashantis, Gan people that Ashantis were coming to the Gold Coast to take over the whole of the coastal area? It was the Fantis. I'm not playing tribal cards here, but Fantis knew that the Ashantis have gone back to prepare, and then if they are coming to fight them, then they need to mobilize support. And that's how come they inform everybody on the coastal line. And if you are in your house and somebody comes to tell you that, hey, look, your neighbor comes to tell you somebody's coming to take over our whole community, what would you do? You will be prepared for it. That is what happened at Katamanso War. So what I mean is, white man brought up a certain way of us thinking and hating each other and fighting. And at the end of the day, they give the Ashantis ammunition. They give guns ammunition. They give all the war resources. They give them, and we fight ourselves, and they benefit.
Coach Ebi, I say sorry to cut you. I beg, quick one. It be like the whole Ghana get light out, or you mean my house, babe, because I just think
like this sprinters.
Okay, then I dey go sprinters right now. Thank you. You go free continue.
So at the end of the day, I don't want. For me, I say, look, we should just see. Look, we shouldn't see ourselves as one and the other, because at the end of the day, why were Ashantis coming to the coast? At the end of the day, if Ashantis hate Ghana people today, I can say that both of them is what? Informed. Ghana feels like, okay, Ashantis have decided to come and take over the coast, and this is our land. We can't allow them. But Ghana were misinformed. They were misled that, oh, let's say maybe that's not even the intention of Ashantis. But because of the information, and information is what we act on. Go on, please.
Yeah. One of the foremost times the Asante people, right, ventured along the coast was when they were going to fight the Fantis in a war. So when they defeated the Fantis, the Ashanti king at the time, I think he was Mensa Bonsu. Before he won the war, he wasn't Mensa Bonsu. Part of his name, and it has become like a mainstay in Ashanti naming like traditions. The Bonsu name, it actually has a historical context. So when that king, right, when it defeated the Fantis along the coast, that he's not he has not only won over the tropicals on the front, he has now won over the sea and the fishes in the sea. Right. So he named himself the Big Fish, Bonsu. Right? Yeah. So as they defeat the Fantis for the coast top, and then they were like, there are even more people at the far end of the coast, right?
That be the people
and there are more people. Yeah. So why don't we also go there and conquer them?
Come, we are waiting for you.
Our territory.
Come, we will spin them like it will.
I appreciate that narrative. And the Ghana narrative of the history also acknowledges that as well. For me, whatever happened, that is what I want is this. What I want us to understand is this. One, have we checked wars before pre-colonial era? Have we checked that? how many wars existed pre-colonial era, and compared to the number of wars fought between the ethnicities in Ghana during colonial era. I personally, in my own opinion, I think there were lesser wars before Europeans arrived. We were living, coexisting.
No, we still fought many wars though. Have
Yeah,
you
bro,
asked
exactly.
have you
I'm
asked yourself why there are, you know, there are some gangs who are ancestrally dangerous, some gangs who are ancestrally Asante. There are gangs who bear last names like Ado and all that, right?
True.
Check
Yeah.
the
Same
period.
thing.
Check
Yes,
the
coming.
period.
The
period is
same thing.
is
The
what-
same. Yeah, I'm not trying to interject. Yeah, the same thing with Ewe people. There are some Ewes, especially in the Peki area, right? Hohoi, Pando, and all that. Akan last names, Asamoah, Asempa, Asem, and all that. Because there's a whole history behind
Segbe
it.
nothing so
Right?
Segbe. Kill that papa.
See. Before the colonial era, we fought wars, right? So the Akwamu people fought wars with the Ewes. And maybe if there's a war that the Ewe won or the Akwamu people won, they take the people who lost the war, right, as captives.
Right.
And those captives over time they intermarry and all that, and they become part of that ethnicity. Right. That's how come there are some Ewes who have account sounding names. There are some Gans who have account sounding names. Because the Akwamu people subjugated Gans for a long time as well. The Dentra people, before the Ashanti state was formed. Ashanti is not an individual tribe, right? It's like a union tribe. A number of Akan tribes came together.
It even goes
to
up
form,
to Ivory Coast.
Yes, a number of Akan people
And
came
Togo.
together to form a new ethnicity because of war. So the very meaning of Ashanti, right? If you speak Twi, Ashanti because of war. So the Ashanti people are not like original indigenous Akan. Just it's actually a spin-off from many Akan groups who have come together because of war to fight against the Dentra. Because then the Dentra people they get too much power for those times. Yeah, the Osukaso, the Christian boy, if you then get the keys to the castle, think of them defeat the Europeans with and then build those castles, right? So some Ghana be messed up. If you go visit them, yeah.
Another way of which
I'm coming. So as the Europeans come the Gold Coast, some of the Europeans too, them use Gans, them Fantis, then some Anglo people for the coast there. No? Then use them as agents. Some of the white men, they marry Gan women. So today there's a whole list of Gan families, Hatton Mills, you go name them, Vanderpoy, those people or them ancestry be white men. And if you go check Ghana history, especially the medical history of Ghana, one guy did, they call him Matthew A. Bano, Anum Bano, right? He read something, he read some autobiography, a socio-medical adventure in Ghana. If you search that book, I searched that book 3 years before I find out. He talked about how medicine as a profession started for Gold Coast. You go believe say the first 10 doctors, right, for Ghana, right, all began men, despite the fact they carry like Western education come the fancies them aside first. But then the first 10 medical doctors, at the time they practice medicine, then Ghana no get university safe. So all these people, they get chance go Edinburgh, University of Edinburgh, go do medicine for them. Kote Papa Fio, Nanka Bruce, that kind of family. Some they come out Jamestown. Some place them Jamestown. They call them. Maybe I'm not going to pronounce them, boy. It began name at the Denpo.
That be where I'm from. You are from. Yeah, that where
that be elite Ghana people. They come.
Oh, I be elite. Maybe that. Yay!
See, it is on record. The first 10 doctors, and even more than like that number, now them be Ghana people from